Army's communication needs with its army
coming upstairs. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Department of Posts, Ministry of Communications and IT, I welcome you all to this roundtable on National Postal Policy 2012. May I now request Srimati Manjula AVSEQ01 Secretary, Department of Posts, to deliver her theme address.
Honorable Shri Kapil Sibal, Minister of Communications and IT and HRD, members of the Postal Services Board, my colleagues from the Government of India, the banks, the academia, the stakeholders, representatives from the banks. It's a pleasure for us to hold this roundtable conference, which will help us in deliberating upon the draft national postal policy. In fact, our country is one of the prominent emerging economies. Some time back, Goldman Sachs had said that the two Asian giants will be coming forward as far as economy is concerned, and he had predicted that India would be, by 2050, India would be the third largest economy, and China would perhaps overtake the US. In such a scenario, we have undeniably to admit that the postal sector has been contributing to the social and economic growth of the country, and also in empowering the citizens of our country. It touches the lives of everybody. In spite of that, what has been happening is that over a period of time, the sector has been expanding. There has not been much coordination among various players in the postal sector. There are so many major players, minor players, but the synergy is at the moment not there as it should be. And increasingly the sector is becoming competitive and more complex. The effort now is to define the contours of this expanding postal sector and to identify the major and minor players of the sector, to have a common platform to exchange the market-related information, to exchange best practices that take place in various, which are followed by various players. And there's a lot of scope of coordination, of integration among the various players. The idea is to provide the services a very reliable communication network which meets the needs of physical communication, data flow and financial services. While we had followed this methodology that we had, under the guidance of Honorable Minister of Communications, we had called the subsection of the stakeholders for a meeting before holding this meeting, so that we could have the agenda for today's meet expanded. In fact, the stakeholders who came for the meeting had helped us in giving various items for today's agenda, and also after that the expanded agenda was put on our website. We've got a lot of responses, sir, and a lot of encouraging response, and I'm sure that will help us in drawing up a postal policy. Also, the major issues which the agenda covers. Thank you.
हो गया भैया, बहुत आपने फिर
Thank you, ma'am.